We're joined this morning by our administrator, Janice Jackson, our fire chief and EMA director, Chris James, and we want to make sure that our citizens are fully aware of what's taking place in the community as Hurricane Michael continues to move towards landfall in the panhandle of Florida. As many of you are aware, across the community, Governor Deal issued this week an emergency declaration for 92 counties in advance of Hurricane Michael's landfall. Richmond County was one of those 92 counties, and as our EMA director has continued to track the storm, we find ourselves right in the middle of the eye of the storm. This morning, I communicated with our school board and in specifics, Dr. Pringle, our superintendent of schools. We're anticipating, in light of rain and heavy winds on tomorrow, that our schools will be closed across Richmond County. They'll be sending out a press statement to that effect shortly. But we want to make sure that we're coordinating with all of our citizens, making sure that they're taking every precaution, not just from a travel perspective, but sheltering in place, and where necessary, making them aware of what resources we have here in the community. It only seems like this has happened probably 5 or 6 times over the last 3 years that we've been here. But we have a team that's prepared. Our community stakeholders, to include Red Cross, met on yesterday with continued activity and meetings to take place as we ramp up on today. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our EMA director, Chris James.
Good morning. Real briefly, I'll run through a few things that we have prepared. As you know, right now we're under tropical storm watch presently. The potential impact, the things that we're concerned about are the flooding rains, the high winds, and possible tornadoes that are following this Hurricane Michael. The dangerous winds could cause trees to come down, causing power outages. And so we're definitely asking our citizens to prepare. As in the EMA world, we always ask that you have 3 days of food, 3 days of medication. Make sure that you check on your fellow neighbor. We know we have several senior citizens in our community. Make sure that you check on your senior citizens in your neighborhood to assure that they're safe, and we can get assistance to them if that assistance is needed. And to do that, we're saying just go ahead and prepare now. We're not scheduled to take any evacuees in other than our own evacuees in our own area. Does not mean that we won't assist folks that are traveling through that have to stop, but we have no plans on activating our Chatham County agreement at this time, since the storm is coming directly over Augusta, Georgia. So we don't want them to evacuate back to us. We do anticipate opening the shelter this afternoon around 6 o'clock. We're not identifying that location as of yet because we don't want citizens to show up to it before we're ready for it to be opening. And as the mayor mentioned, our partner, the Red Cross, is helping to staff that shelter. But we will open it at 6 so that it'll be open prior while we still have some daylight. So that if you live in an area where you live in a mobile home or these type of things where the high winds can have a definitely effect on your home, then we're going to go ahead and have a place for you to come this evening, and that location will be announced later on. And we also ask that to go to the city's webpage and sign up for Code Red so that you, the citizens, can receive any bulletins and information that we're putting out, as we need you to respond to the directions so we can keep everyone safe. With that being said, I'll turn it over to the administrator.
Thank you. Just to let you know, we'll probably have to make a few decisions within the next several hours regarding our government operations, namely garbage collection. Please stay tuned. We'll have a decision about whether we'll do garbage collection on tomorrow very shortly. Also, we'll make a decision about whether our offices will be open or closed on tomorrow. I will say that at this point, we don't have any plans for mandatory evacuations. However, if we have to do anything of that sort, we ask that our citizens please take heed to whatever the requests are of our officials. Whatever requests we make are requests to keep you safe and secure. So please, we ask our public to pay attention and to take heed to whatever requests are made of you. We plan to keep you informed throughout the day today and tomorrow as there may be any changes or any other instructions we have to give. So please assist us with getting those messages out to the public. Thank you.
Any questions at this time?
Chief, how about manpower, firepower? Might be a lot of calls. Are you going to overstaff, restaff, in terms of staff?
So we have a inclement weather policy that we've already distributed and reached out to all the employees and told them to review it. We've asked employees, not just on the fire department, but any of the employees with the city that are considered essential employees, to make sure that their families are ready, for them to go ahead and get ready ahead of time, because we will need them to be at work to assist in efforts that we're undertaking here. So we'll be full staffed and with all of our apparatuses up and running, and our other public safety departments as well. You will see that the staffing will be where it needs to be to assure that we can carry out our mission.
You've been through a lot of these. What's your biggest heartburn always? What's it going to be? Is it going to be, what's your biggest worry?
Two things. One is the flooding. We have our low-lying areas that we know that flood typically. And the other major concern that is the winds and the power outages. We know that we have some concerns when the power is out, that your dialysis centers that don't have backup generators becomes an issue. Your nursing homes that don't have backup generators become an issue. And residents that are on ventilators that are powered, that are electrically powered, are an issue of concern. And we have to really focus on how to address those vulnerable communities that need assistance, and they typically depend on electrical power.
Do you plan to open more than one shelter, or just this one shelter at 6 p.m.?
We have more than one shelter identified to be open. We have one that we will start with, but we have several already identified throughout the county to be open as needed.
Final question.
If you have an overwhelming amount of calls in this area, do you have any kind of surrounding departments that are going to come in and help if you need it?
We have mutual aid contracts, agreements with every county that touches our board. And in addition to that, we will be able to reach out to the state, and GEMA would assist us in assuring that other resources could come, including the National Guard or whatever they have at their disposal.
Is the emergency ops center open?
Probably this evening, not yet, but it'll probably be open this evening.
All right, they got to finish briefing the mayor. A few other things. Make sure you understand. Let them know animal surrender has stopped with the shelters. So we only would take evacuee animals at this point. Make sure people know when y'all put out information. 3 days medication, 3 days of food, those types of things to keep everybody up to date so they can be aware and be prepared. Any other questions? We have a follow-up briefing after our 12 o'clock briefing and our 12 o'clock meeting. So I will send that out and send you location. More than likely, we'll probably come back here since it's kind of where everybody is. I'm not sure we'll be back here, but I'll let you know in that message. All right, but follow our Facebook page and the city's Facebook page. They'll continue to put up information. All right.